Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a Jay Cutler inspired arm workout. It is an FST7 workout. I have kind of shifted more to this type of training as it doesn't require supersets to get the same kind of pump, but it is considered high volume, and everything is in a lighter rep range, like around 12 reps. So I'm going to show you kind of the movements that Jay Cutler has said that has helped him build his arms. Some variations and tweaks that I made for my personal use. And again, I've been doing this arm workout for years, probably at least the last 4 or 5 years. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Here we go.
Alright guys, so we're doing a simple rope push down here. I'm using the long rope. Obviously I'm gripping it a little bit higher. Pick a nice weight you can do for 12 reps. That needs to be going up a little bit. And just push it on out. Alright, keep the elbows fairly tight to the sides, lean forward. I'm pushing decent weight here, so it's a little sloppy, but you know. We're doing 3 sets of 12 for this exercise. Okay? Push through it, lock it out. Alright, what we're doing here is we're staying at the cable. We're putting up some dual handles. And now Jay Cutler would typically use a straight bar for this. I like to do the dual handles. Got to go a little bit lighter, maybe back off about 10-15% of your working weight for the pushdowns. Just gets a unique burn. Again, the emphasis here needs to be on the stretch. So you're really going to feel that burn after doing about 3 sets of a pre-exhaust before we go into our heavier tricep movements. Again, we're doing all triceps first, and then we're doing all biceps. So no supersetting during this workout. Next we have the close grip bench press. This will be my 3rd time benching this week, so I'm a little sore. Didn't go real heavy, but you know, it's important that you pick a decent weight for about 10 to 12 reps. Alright, and really emphasize the stretch at the bottom, as that is where most of the growth occurs in the triceps. And just pump it out. Alright, we're doing 3 sets of 12 for each exercise here. Alright. And the next cable setup, this is a most underrated tricep movement in the whole gym. The overhead cable, okay? It doesn't need to be crazy complicated. Ditch the rope, get yourself a nice V-bar or straight bar, get some stability in there, and just pause. As you can see, I'm doing some pauses at the bottom. 1001, boom. I'm right back up. And I learned that from Phil Heath. He talked a little bit about that when he trains arms. And you know, Phil Heath used a lot of cables as well. The last thing we're doing, okay, is instead of doing 3 sets of 12, we're doing 7 sets of 8 to 10 reps with a 30-second break in between. Now this is important to keep the blood flow going, to stretch the fascia tissue. This is Hani Rambod style training where you're just flushing blood into the muscle, stretching the fascia tissue. I do about body weight on the dips. Okay? So if you weigh 200 pounds, do 200 pounds. Alright, next what we're going to do is switch over to some biceps. So as a pre-exhaust, we're going to do some heavy wide grip barbell curls. As you can see, the barbell curl grip is wide to target the inner head of the bicep. And you're pushing decent weight. You can get a little sloppy with it, but as long as you hit about 10 to 12 reps, you should be fine. All the way up, all the way down. Next, we're going right into our seated alternating dumbbell curl, okay, which is really nothing to really make a big deal about unless you have already pre-exhausted. So you'll get a crazy burn, really good contraction. You're totally warmed up at this point. And I go pretty light. These are 27s. I've seen videos of Chris Bumstead curling 27s. If he's doing that, I'm good with that. So you're just doing 3 sets of 12 here. Okay. Alright, next we have another underrated movement. Everybody knows about hammer curls, but not many people do it on a preacher bench. So here we have the isolated preacher curl for the hammer grip. We're going for 12 reps. 3 sets of 12. I do a little pause at the bottom, again, 1001, come back up, just to really make sure you're not cheating the reps. You can control that weight for 12 reps. The last bicep and final exercise of the day is a good old-fashioned spider curl with dumbbells. We're hitting 7 sets, 8 to 10 reps, 30-second break in between. All right, focusing on the squeeze, keeping the elbows flush forward a little bit. Really putting some blood in there. This will grow your biceps for sure. All right, that was a fun workout.
We are at Five Guys. We got burger, post-workout meal with some fries. I always get the small cup. You know why? Because of that right there. The whole bag is full of fries. So we get a cheeseburger, which is really a double cheeseburger with a large fry. So here we go. Double cheeseburger.